Today I'll be diving into the LucidMe Mask by REM Space. I did a review about this mask a video ago. It was a little bit general, but I did not really dive into how it works or how it functions or how to configure it. So this is what I'm going to do right now, okay? I'm going to go through the mask itself, the hardware, and I'm also going to dive into the app. I'm going to try to not overcomplicate it because there really are a ton of settings within the app, and I know a lot of you have been sending me messages about it, kind of like maybe feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I promise you it's actually very simple. The first time that I got it and I looked at everything, I did feel a little bit overwhelmed as well, but then I understood, this is the way, they are trying to make sure that everyone feels like they have full autonomy over the mask. They want to make sure that we have access to all the settings possible, and they did a pretty good job at it, I think. So first of all, when you purchase the mask, it's gonna come in this box right here. It's quite sturdy. I like it. Definitely well made for international shipping. And within the box, you're going to get, of course, the mask. You're going to get a USB-C cable, and you're going to get these earphones right here. These are quite handy, especially if you have a partner, you're sleeping next to someone, and you don't want to make sure you don't wake them up. These can come in quite handy. I've used them for a few nights and they are pretty comfortable. So that's what the box comes with. Let me just talk about the mask itself. So as I explained in the previous video, there is a circuit board inside. So please remember this, because don't be folding it or don't be just like throwing it everywhere like you do with any other mask. There is an actual circuit board inside, guys, so just be careful. It's not like it's about to break or anything like that. But anyways, you don't really have to worry much about the board itself. If anything, there's only two things you should be aware of, and that is the USB-C port right here where you charge the mask, and to the right there is the headphones jack, okay? And that's pretty much it. Whenever you want to turn on the mask, all you have to do is you gotta press and hold a button that is right in the middle of the mask. Okay, let me show you. Hello. Okay, when it says hello, is that it's on, but it has not initiated any method. It's just on. So at this point, it's in standby mode. Once you download the app and you got it on your phone and you've connected the mask to it through Bluetooth, which is all very simple, and you want to start the mask, meaning you want it to initiate the method, you just click once in the middle of the mask. Okay, so you do this. Start. So now it has initiated the method that you had selected. Once you do that and you go through the night and you wore the mask, you had your lucid dreams, whatever, and at the end of the night you've completed the process, right? You're done. You just click on it again. Completed. So now the process has been completed. And if you want to just turn it off completely, because even after it's set completed, it's still in standby mode, okay? But you want to turn it off completely, just press and hold again for a few seconds. It's the same thing you did in the beginning. See you later. That's it. It's off. And that's all you really need to know about the mask itself. So now let's dive into the app itself. Okay, because the app is actually pretty cool. It's not just about, lucid dreaming, but it also has a few other interesting perks to it. So the first thing that you're going to see when you open the mask is this tab called channels, and this is kind of like your dashboard. Okay, this is where you see all the dreams that you have recorded. You also see all the dreams that other people are recording, because this serves kind of like a community. The second tab is messages. And this one's important because this is where you can message the support team directly if anything was to happen, if there was some kind of malfunction with your mask, or maybe you need some clarity about something, they can definitely help you out. The cool thing about this company is that it's a small company, right? So they will get back to you very quickly, like in a matter of minutes. So you won't even have to wait like a day for them to get back to you. And next you have My Journal, and I really like this one because you don't have to keep a separate app to record your dreams. You can do everything right here within the LucidMe app, and it also gives you additional insights, kind of like how many dreams you've had overall, how many dreams per night, how many times you've had lucid dreams. So I kind of like this. And then the next tab is techniques. Now there is a lot of information here, a lot of literature. Just keep in mind that, you know, Michael Reduga across many years has been developing so many different texts about his methods and just a lot of research on so many different topics related to sleeping and lucid dreaming and such. So everything is here. A lot of this will definitely help you you know, be successful with the mask. Okay, just keep that in mind, especially if you're a beginner, like if you don't have too much experience, you know, inducing lucid dreams, having out-of-body experiences and such. This will be incredibly useful for you. The next tab is the one that you're probably going to be most interested in, and that is the sleep tracker. And here is where you basically manage the mask itself. Okay, so this is where you connect the mask. So you see there it says connect. So once you turn on the mask, you can just click on connect right there and it's going to connect. Up here you will see a graph, and this is where it shows how the mask behaved through the night as you wore the mask. It's going to tell you how you slept as well. When did you have a deep sleep or a light sleep? When was REM sleep? How many times and when did you wake up, and so on. Okay, it also has a lot of different a lot of different colors signaling different things. It has a legend that you can click on in the question mark over there. So for example, in this case, this was last night for me. I had you see 4 different yellow marks. These ones were actual cues from the mask to myself telling me that I am dreaming and that I should do the separation techniques. Okay, so we did it 4 times across 1 hour. So if you see this graph, it starts at 5 and it ends at 6 because I only wore the mask for 1 hour. This is also something important to keep in mind, that you don't have to wear the mask all night to make it work. There are different ways you can use it. Yes, sure, you can use it from the first time you go to sleep all the way to the end of the night, or you can just use it towards the end of the night and just change the settings to make sure it works that way. I slept up until 5 a.m. without the mask. I woke up, went to the bathroom, came back to bed, put on the mask, turn it on, start, and only did it for 1 hour, and I got 4 different cues and I became successful in the second one. Okay, so as you scroll down, you're gonna see a little bit more insights on sleep quality and such, and you're gonna get signals for the phase states. So this is what I was talking about, direct method for cues. That's what I got last night. 0 cues indirect method and 0 cues lucid dreaming method. Let's move on to settings. So when you click on settings down below, you're gonna get this tab over here, and you're gonna have the option to turn on and off the modes. So you have sleep stages tracking, you have fast sleep. Fast sleep is so good. I really love this function because it helps you go to sleep very quickly when you first use it at night. Okay, so when you first go to sleep, you turn this on, and what it will do is it's going to send light cues, and you're going to breathe along with those cues. And I'm not sure what the science is behind it, but it really just it relaxes you so much. So it definitely helps a lot to anyone that has trouble falling asleep. The next mode is tender alarm. So this is just an alarm that is going to wake you up softly at a set time. And then you have Buddha mode. This is for meditation. I have not used the Buddha mode yet, so I don't really have any feedback on it. I have heard other people use it and they have provided very good feedback. That basically it also works with the light cues and it definitely helps you with your meditation. And then you got anti-snoring, and what it does is, my understanding is that it's going to be identifying when you are snoring. The mask has that capability, and it's going to send you signals in order to wake you up, but just slightly, just enough for you to stop snoring. Keep going down, you're gonna see phase states. This is where you select how you want the mask to behave. You got lucid dreaming, direct method, and indirect method. So the lucid dreaming method is just the mask sending cues when it identifies that you are in REM sleep. I don't really use this method that much. I do use the direct method and the indirect method. So again, the direct method, which is the one that I used last night, you basically decide when you want the mask to send cues to remind you to perform the separation techniques, and you decide for what duration do you want those cues to be sent in. And then the indirect method, which is considered to be kind of like the preferred method, okay, for the mask. And there's a reason for that. It's a very popular one, and it's actually the one that I tend to teach to my audience in other videos that I've recorded as well. And you're gonna see there it has a crown next to it. That crown does not mean it's like a premium feature or anything like that. It's not like a paid feature, okay? It simply means that it's a preferred method, that's all. Right now I have it off, but I have used the indirect method a lot, and it's worked pretty well. So let's keep looking at the settings. So now if you click on general settings here, you're gonna get this other tab, and these are settings related to the sound, to the vibration, to the LED lights. I don't really touch any of this. I just leave it as it is in the default settings, okay? And you might want to do the same. The only thing I will say is that the volume at 16 works pretty well. However, if you are going to use the headphones, you need to toggle this on where it says headphone volume on, and you want to bring the volume down to like around 6. You can test it out, but around 6 or 7, because otherwise it's going to be incredibly loud, okay? As you keep scrolling down, you have the phase states. You can toggle off and on all these different options like melody, LEDs, vibration, instructions, breathe off, move off. I wouldn't touch anything. I would just leave everything on, okay? This is important. And I just want to explain the breathe off and the move off. So breathe off is that you have the option to turn off the cue with your breath, okay? So the first cue that you get, that the mask will send you, will be the light cue that will be saying, this is a dream, you are dreaming. And you have to turn it off in order for the next cue to come in that will say, perform the techniques, perform the techniques. You have two ways to turn it off, okay? You either do like 2 quick breaths, kind of like something like that. The other way is to tilt your head to the side like that. That's enough, okay? A small tilt, and the mask will identify that and it will turn the cue off. And that's when the next cue comes in saying, perform the techniques, perform the techniques. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when you go back to the previous over here. Yeah, the phase states. And I'm going to show you how it looks like when you click on one of the methods. So direct method, which I used last night, just click on this gear icon. Okay, so you got 3 options here. Delay, interval, duration. So what delay means is how much time will the mask wait before it begins the intervals. Okay, so in my case it will be 0 because I already slept for 5 hours, and I got up, I went to the bathroom, came back to bed, put on the mask, and I turned it on, start, and I wanted to start right away because I'm already primed for separation. I already slept for 5 hours, okay? So I did wake back to bed. And on interval, I have 15. So what this means is that every 15 minutes, the mask is going to send me the cues. So when I press start the first time, it's going to wait for 15 minutes before it gives me the first cue, all right? And then duration is just for how long these intervals are going to go. So I have it at 300, which, I mean, it's a lot, right? 300 minutes, that's like 5 hours. So if I put on the mask at 5 in the morning, that means I'm expecting to sleep up until like 10 in the morning, right? But not necessarily. Actually, as you saw, I only slept for 1 hour, and that was enough. I always have it at 300 minutes simply because you never know. It might be a morning where I actually slept for 5 more hours, okay? And that's pretty much it. Below every method, you have step-by-step instructions, so read those. So even though I'm sharing with you, these settings, I will also be sharing with you a couple other settings that I've used and have been successful with, and I'm sharing those in the description below. I hope it's clear. If you have any questions at all, just put it in the comment section. I'll try to get to it. If you have not done so yet, please like and subscribe to my channel. I talk about lucid dreaming, astral projection, overall altered states of consciousness, multidimensional exploration. I also run a Patreon where you can connect with me. There's an option for one-on-one direct messaging. So if that's something you're interested in, all the links are in the description. So that will be all, and I'll see you again in the next video.
Because I am more than physical matter, I can perceive that which is greater than the physical world.